Hello and welcome. Today we're diving deep into a single, powerful Japanese word that might just be the key to a longer, happier, more meaningful life. It's a philosophy that has shaped one of the healthiest communities on the entire planet, so let's get right into it.
I mean, this is the big question, isn't it? It's something we all ask ourselves at some point. But what if the answer isn't some huge, complicated mystery? What if it's a practical philosophy, something you can actually live by, found on a small island where people live longer and happier than almost anywhere else on Earth?
We are talking about Okinawa, Japan. Seriously, this place is amazing. It has more people living past the age of 100 than pretty much anywhere else. And sure, a healthy diet and good weather are part of the story, but the real secret? Well, it's a powerful idea that shapes their entire way of life.
At the very heart of this incredible longevity is one Japanese word. It's a concept that gives people a deep sense of purpose, a real drive. It's the reason they greet each and every day with joy.
And that word is Ikigai. It's pronounced Ikigai, and it literally means your reason for being. But it's not just about your job or a hobby. Think of it like this. It's the intersection of four really important things: what you love to do, what you're good at, what the world actually needs, and what you can get paid for. When you find that sweet spot where all four of those overlap, well, that's your Ikigai. That's your mission.
But Ikigai doesn't exist in a vacuum. It's the core of a whole lifestyle. The Okinawans combine this sense of purpose with a healthy diet, gentle daily movement, and these incredibly strong community bonds they call a moai. A moai is basically a social support group that sticks together for life. It's all connected. And part of that lifestyle is this simple, but honestly profound piece of advice: hara hachi bu. It just means you stop eating when you're about 80% full. By doing this, you're reducing the stress of digestion on your body, which in turn actually slows down aging at the cellular level. It's mindful eating at its absolute best.
Community is also just so important. This principle, ikari bachode, it fosters these really deep social connections, this feeling of belonging, being part of something bigger than yourself. It's such a powerful defense against loneliness and a key ingredient for a long, happy life.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing, right? But let's be honest. Our modern world often works directly against these principles. So let's take a look at two of the biggest forces that Ikigai helps us fight: chronic stress and a sedentary lifestyle.
Now check this out, because this really frames the problem perfectly. Our ancestors, right? They experienced these short, intense bursts of high stress, like, oh no, there's a predator, run! And then it was over. But us? We live with this constant, low-grade drip of stress hormones from emails, from notifications, from deadlines. Our bodies just were not designed for that.
And this is the result. This constant state of emergency just wears our bodies down. It weakens our cells and literally makes us age faster. Having an Ikigai, a purpose that guides you, can be an incredibly powerful shield against this kind of chronic, modern stress.
And the other big enemy? Just sitting still. We spend so much of our lives in chairs. But the good news is, the fix doesn't have to be some brutal gym routine. It's about bringing gentle movement back into your life, just like the Okinawans do. Taking the stairs, going for a walk. These small changes, they really add up.
So we know the enemies are stress and sitting all day. But how do we actually fight back? How do we find our purpose? Well, the answer might just lie in a really unique school of psychology called logotherapy.
So logotherapy was founded by Viktor Frankl, who was a psychiatrist and a Holocaust survivor. He would start with this incredibly direct, almost shocking question. And why? Because the answers his patients gave him, their love for their children, a talent they had, a memory they cherished, those answers revealed their hidden reasons for living. It forced them to find their own meaning.
And here's what makes logotherapy so different from, say, traditional psychoanalysis. Psychoanalysis tends to look backward, into your past, to find the source of your problems. Logotherapy is all about looking forward. It's not about what happened to you. It's about what you're going to do about it. It's an active search for a purpose that pulls you into the future.
This quote from Nietzsche just perfectly captures the whole idea behind both logotherapy and Ikigai. When you have a strong enough why, a really clear purpose, you can get through almost any how that life throws at you. Your purpose becomes your anchor in the storm.
Okay, so if Ikigai is your why, what does it actually feel like when you're living it? Well, psychologists have a name for that exact experience. They call it flow. Have you ever been so completely absorbed in something
Maybe it's playing music or coding or gardening or even just a great conversation that you totally lose track of time. That's flow. Your sense of self just kind of melts away and you become one with what you're doing. It is the feeling of your Ikigai in action.
So how do you find this amazing state? The trick is to find that sweet spot right between challenge and your ability. If a task is too easy, you get bored. If it's way too hard, you get anxious. But right there in the middle, in that perfect zone where it's challenging but achievable, that's where you find flow.
Here's a super simple strategy. First, pick a task that pushes you just a little bit out of your comfort zone. Second, know exactly what you're trying to achieve. And third, and this is the hardest one for most of us these days, get rid of all the distractions. Focus on that one single thing. No multitasking.
And this brings up such a key point. Finding flow and living your Ikigai, it isn't a one-time thing. It's not an event, it's a daily practice. It's all about building habits that let you connect with your purpose, day in and day out, until excellence just becomes part of who you are.
So let's bring all these ideas together. Ikigai isn't some magical place you finally arrive at. It's more like a compass. It's a way of navigating your entire journey through life.
The thing is, your Ikigai is probably already inside you right now. The real work is in the patient search to uncover it. And you know what? It might change and evolve as you go through life, and that is perfectly okay. The key is to just stay curious, stay active, and keep searching for those things that make you feel truly, deeply alive.
And that brings us right back to the central question. If there's one thing I want you to take away from all this, it's this question. As you go about your day tomorrow, just ask yourself, what is my reason for getting up in the morning? What's my Ikigai?